The year, 2016. The place, News Hub. The spectator, you, the viewer. What you're about to see is the beginning of a very important conflict. Some may call it a civil war, but I say it is not so civil. See what I did there? It's very clever. It's a play on words. Like, I played all over those words. Like, it's just revolutionary. Oh, where was I? They say the roots of this civil war have been going on for about 2 years, which somehow seems longer than 2 seasons, although the math doesn't quite add up. But the point is, the roots had been growing for a long, long time. A lot of conflicting personalities, butting heads. It was not just over control of News Hub, but for the very soul of the organization itself. What it stood for, where it was going. There was an important root of conflict. And you had many important personalities involved, some of the best and brightest in the world, according to their mothers. A lot was at stake here. This was a serious thing. You have Drew on one side. I mean, he was voted Sexiest Man of the Year by People magazine 5 years in a row. We can't dispute that. All right, that is a serious fact, And a lot of scholars have written PhD dissertations on this subject. I mean, well, technically it happened this year, so they haven't written it yet, but they will. Once they find this footage, they will, because they will write the documents. But the question is, when did this clash of personalities really start in the News Hub office? What was the flashpoint? What set it off? It all begins with this.
Hello? Speaking. Oh, okay. Okay, is there anything I can do? Okay. Bye.
What's wrong, Michelle?
I don't know how to tell you this.
It's okay. We know your shirt and shoes don't match.
I got a call from management and I'm fired.
So is News Hub finally canceled?
I'm actually gonna miss this place. When we started, none of us knew what we were doing, but we had some awesome times together. Kyle, you've been great to work with when we're not fighting, so it's like 3 days. And Brian, some of your best work has been behind the camera. Keep it up. Adam, I don't really know what you do here, but it's definitely unique. You do you. And Casey, even though we had a little bit of a rocky start, and even though you're not the best anchor, you've been a big help. So, thank you. If it's the nosy menu that got me fired, fine, but it was definitely worth it. Say hi to Drew for me.
It's great to be back. Being in Ireland gave me a lot of time to think. First of all, I realized that I hate travel, so I wonder why I felt that way. It turns out that the root of all my problems is a fear of change. I can only really function when everything stays exactly the same. So with that, I'm ready to pick up exactly where I left off. Now who's ready to get back to work?
Well, Drew, things are going to be a little different around here.
Kyle, were you listening to me?
Oh, Michelle, say hi!
Drew, Michelle's gone, and while you were in Ireland, Casey took up the mantle for anchor for us.
Yeah, it went really well, too. Our fans seem to love me.
Casey, that wasn't very funny. And you know what? That kind of attitude, I mean, if I didn't clean my act up, I'd be running for some soda right now.
Drew, Casey's right.
Kyle, you need to work on your proverbs.
As Daniel Day-Lewis said in that movie Lincoln, a newsroom divided against itself can't stand.
Drew, does being anchor really matter to you?
Yes!
Alright, well, if caring pisses you off, I guess I'll keep it up.
Alrighty, so since Michelle's gone, we're gonna have to do something between us to decide who is gonna be the head anchor. I guess Casey and Drew are both equally unqualified. How about we put it to a vote? Is that cool with everybody?
Yeah. All for Drew?
Yeah. Okay, and who wants Casey to be the anchor?
Kyle! Come on! I could really use your vote.
I just don't care. At all.
But Kyle, think of the good times. You really cared then.
Give it time, Kyle. You'll make up your mind. All in good time.
What's an anchor?
This is how it's supposed to be.
We are congregating in sub-room temperatures.
Yeah, Kyle, remember how fun it used to be when I was in charge?
I dreaded coming to work every day.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, having to wake up and come in early every day does suck. But I can help change that.
Really? You know, I would be open to some changes like that around here.
Yeah, and I could bring some changes that will knock your socks off.
And shoes too.
Like, I know this stripper who works pro boner and she...
Hey, Drew, that's a little inappropriate, don't you think?
But that's not the point. The point is, I'm a fun idea guy. I know how to make it fun around here. You know what Casey thinks is fun? She'd rather go home, drink some Franzia, and read the latest Nicholas Sparks novel.
That sounds lamer than my grandmother's donkey.
You know, Drew, you've given me a lot to think about.
But wait, there's more.
No, I've heard enough. I'll consider everything you've told me, Drew, and I'll let you know.
I'll be waiting right by my phone.
So, Casey, why do you think you have what it takes to be the head anchor here at News Hub?
She's very persuasive.
Right, well, I mean, you know, things have gotten better since Drew's been gone.
Right.
Yeah, and just because we were all in one position at one point doesn't mean we have to stay boxed in.
Hey, no, be that as it may, it's still yet to be determined whether Casey has what it takes to be the head anchor here.
Oh, she does.
I do? Right, I do.
And I can help her out, even though I've been, like, so busy updating my resume for no particular reason.
Right. Well, you know, if nothing else, Casey, you've worked here, and I'll seriously consider you when thinking about the vote I'll place on the anchor position.
Thanks. Have a good day, Kyle.
All right, yeah, thanks, you too.
What about me?
Yeah, whatever.
This may be one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make here at News Hub. I mean, Casey versus Drew, I mean, they're both so unprofessional, but in totally different ways. I mean, with Drew, he tries, and he tries really hard, but he doesn't know what he's doing or what he's talking about. Casey, she has some brains, but she couldn't care less. I might as well just draw straws on this one. All right, Drew, I've done some thinking.
Oh no!
I've reached the conclusion that despite our
I've always tried to make you my main man.
despite our differences, I've come to the conclusion that, you know, you're always a pretty somewhat reliable, dependable kind of guy. So I'm willing to offer you your original job back as the anchor of News Hub, provided that you sign this form with some very key changes that I've outlined about how things would be run around here.
Ooh. Asking me for my name? You're always starting out with the hardest questions.
Thanks for agreeing to meet with me, Casey. Right, so even though you haven't been an anchor very long, I think you've shown yourself to be very professional. Right, okay, so I'd be willing to offer you the permanent position of anchor here at News Hub, provided you'd fill out this form.
Do you have a digital version? I don't have a pen.
All right, it's good that you're all here, I guess. After much deliberation, we've come to a resolution. Both Drew and Casey will be permanent co-anchors.
What? Wait, how is this even possible?
Drew, didn't you read the fine print of the form? I mean, it said that if both you and Casey signed the form, you'd both be anchors.
So things will be back to normal?
Well, with some changes.
We can finally get back to work.
Oh no, we won't.
Get over it. Just adapt to all the changes.
No, I can't. I've worked too hard and been through too goddamn much to be treated like this.
Drew, does it really matter that much?
Let's get one thing straight. I don't read the news. I am the news.
But, Drew, I want you.
No, you don't. I'm getting out of here.
What will you do?
I don't know. I'm gonna go work on my PhD dissertation. Yeah, I'm ready to go do that. You won't have Drew to kick around anymore.
Bye, Drew. Enjoy your pH digestion.
Drew, wait.
Oh, God, it smells in here. So, how's my little news team doing?
We've been better.
Brian, who is that?
That's Harold. He's an exec.
Hey, it's Harry, okay? Harry. And why is that man not wearing a shirt?
Because it never stops being funny.
It is all fine. Trust me.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Where is that guy that normally reads the news? You know, the guy with the shorts that are way too short for him and it makes me uncomfortable.
He's not here right now. Please leave a message.
Look, well, you need to reach us. Now that Michelle's been let go, we at corporate have decided to take a more hands-on approach here at News Hub. And we need all of you in a working order.
Don't worry. We'll find Drew. Somehow.